right, you guys, welcome back to Diamond Quality, where we talk about how to not fold under the pressure of life and turn into that gem that you are truly meant to be, because whether you like it or not, you are a fucking crystal. Okay, guys, it is the same day, and I just recorded that last video, and I know y'all heard my fucking son going crazy. He was tired. And he sleep. So this is an opportunity, because London sleep too, for me to get that other video in, because baby, we already know when it comes to time as a single parent, don't take it lightly. And before I get deep into it, I want to give a shout out to the single fathers, all right? Because we know that us moms, we strong, okay? We hold this world up, all right? But That's London. She just woke up, y'all. So I gotta go. I'm gonna pause, but I ain't gonna finish it, because London, that's my angel. Loyal, he stresses me. But London, she my angel. So I am gonna pause, and I'm gonna come right on back, okay? Okay, I'm back. So, yes. London, you know them kids that just got an old soul and they telling you what to do. That's my baby girl. She is just so beautiful. She is an angel from above. Like, I just felt like partner in crime, baby. She knows what needs to be done. And when mama's having a bad day or whatever the case may be, I promise you not, London done came and brought me the vitamins, okay? She brought me the vitamins, like, Mom, don't forget. You know what I'm saying? I fucking love her. But like I was saying, I want to give a shout out to the single fathers, okay? The single fathers, because it's not easy. It's not easy being a single mother, and I know it's not easy being a single father, but I know this world and this society hyper-focused on the single moms, but it's single dads out here too, and y'all need y'all props too, because being a single parent, period, is fucking hard, okay? Hard. And we don't need to be doing this by ourselves, all right? We're together. We're here together. So this episode, I want to talk about why meditation is so important. I will say I have been one, when I first started my spiritual journey, and let me say, having a spiritual journey is not a religion. It's not what these people are trying to make it out to be. It's honestly you knowing your spirit. Is you doing what feels right to you. And I say appropriate or not appropriate, because people like to say, that's wrong, that's right, whatever the case may be. What's appropriate for you? And when you know your spirit, can't nobody tell you about your spirit. Can't nobody say you should do that or feel that. Whatever the case may be, they can't off-rail you, because you know yourself. So when I started my spiritual journey, all right, let's just get into it, okay? So after I got the NICU with my son, right? Before then, the being that I had kids with had, taken me to court. And of course, the court said you need to hand your daughter off these days, all right? And every time I hand my daughter off, it was to the being that gave birth to that being, all right? His mother. And I wasn't happy with that, because I'm just like, this time is for you being, not for that being. And why are you taking time away from me when you're not even there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't feel fair. It didn't feel right. So I was not happy with it. Went through that process for like a whole year straight. And then my son came. When my son came, I told y'all the process of that, how that happened. I was exhausted. And let me remind you, I am from St. Louis. Deaths happen all the time, right? So my father had passed, and I didn't tell y'all. One of my close best friends she passed. And I'll tell y'all on another episode about her, but her shit is related to suicide as well, but she did not leave this earth physically from suicide, but she had passed. And then I had another family member that had passed, and she was young as hell. Sorry, y'all, I thought my phone cut off. She was young as hell, and she passed from a relationship that she was in. You get what I'm saying? Young, in college. Heartbreaking, all right? Then my brother. Even if I'm getting the dates mixed up, but whatever the case may be, I just personally know too many fucking deaths back to back to back. But in St. Louis, that is just normal for us, and it just all just becomes normal, and it's a fog. It's just like you're living in death, right? So I was mentally fucking exhausted. I was over it. My son was in the NICU, and I'm like, if this being wants them and he ain't doing a job and she wants to do it for him, by all fucking means, do it. All right, I need some help. I need a break at this point. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I gave up. And that is what we have to do too. We have to let go. That is part of the process of the spiritual journey. Letting go. So I did that. And when I did that, my life changed. So I let go. And she was doing his job. She was doing his job for him. And lo and behold, I don't even think I had, because it was like an overnight, on the weekends, few days on the weekdays. I don't think it was a full like 2 weeks or something like that. One of the overnights, this being's mother calls me like, you need to come get your son because he's crying nonstop and he took him from me. And I'm just like, why is my son crying? Like, what is he crying for? She would not tell me why he was crying. She just kept saying he was crying. Let me remind you, my son is 2 months old. Y'all just clicked it in my head. Well, all this shit happening at 2 months old. But again, the universe works in synchronicity, all right? It will repeat stuff, okay? Remember I said, the opportunity come again. But it just clicked in. My son was 2 months old. So, damn, I guess that was the universe really letting me know these motherfuckers, these beings were not supposed to be in my life. So, yes, 2 months old. And he's crying and she's calling me, and then me and her are now on the best of terms. So I'm so confused on why she's calling me, but I'm glad she called me because those are my kids and I should be involved in the process or whatever is going on. So she's like, he's crying. He won't get the kids back to me and you need to come get them. So I'm like, all right, I'm coming. But I'm listening. I'm staying on the phone and I'm trying to hear if my son was crying, and he was. So I pull up. I knew me pulling up would not make the situation better, but I didn't give a damn because my son was crying. And we already know how I was thinking and feeling due to the whole situation. So mommy's in a little panic mode, okay? So I pull up, and when I pull up, of course, situation goes left. He was not happy. He started, that's not my story to tell, but he was antagonizing his mother, and with him antagonizing her, she pulls out a gun on him while he's holding my daughter and I'm holding my son, pulling out a gun. Shut your ass up. You better get out my house. And I'm like, hey, listen, put the gun down. We are about to leave. I'm getting the kids ready now. Let's get out the house. So once she lowered the gun down, this being that I had kids with said, but you ain't do nothing. All right? You see why it's so important not to act out of emotions? You see why it's so important to kind of know yourself, feel the situation so you can best address the situation? Because that shit pissed me off, okay? When I say I come from a family of gangsters, when I say I come from a family of, bitch, we will kill you, and they have did it, and they done it, and they're in jail. So, what? Excuse me? You didn't do it. You trying to make her prove it? Because where I come from, they did it. You know what I'm saying? We not trying to make them do it. We don't want to see them prove it. But I don't know the type of games that they play. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, bro, help me get the fuck out of here with the kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we did. We ended up getting out and it was safe. But after that, I was like, all right, she can't be left alone with the kids no more because there's no fucking way. The things that I was trying to not expose my kids to, they were exposed to. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, wow, right? So that happened. And after it happened, I expressed my concerns of you cannot leave our kids with your being of a person, right? And he was like, fine. After that, he started implying that I was making it up. that I was lying about her pulling a gun out on him, my daughter, me, and my son. And I was like, well, you're fucking crazy, because that's not normal. You get what I'm saying? That's not normal. And I'm not finna act like that's normal. You can't get them either. All right, that's the case, Nick Bean. You can't get them either. So that's what I did. I stopped handing the kids out to him. But in the midst of that, I couldn't work. I had my 2 kids. I couldn't pay for childcare because I don't know about these other states, but here in St. Louis, just for one kid to go to daycare is like $400 a week. I got 2. That's $800 a week. No, that does not make sense. So that happened in October. Okay. And then what happened? This Bean's mother came to my house, and I thought she was coming to my house to apologize, like, sorry for putting you and the kids in danger. She came to my house and was like, did you steal my necklace? Y'all, again, that's why we gotta know ourselves, know our emotion, ground ourselves, and not allow these people to poke us. Because I was like, excuse me, you're what? I'm not a thief. I don't steal. Besides that, why the fuck are you talking to me about some material when you almost took my child's life or my life? I don't give a fuck about some material. You almost took our life. Are you seeing what you just did? She wasn't seeing that. So that told me, okay, I'm going to get a restrainer on you, because I know me, right? And I know where I come from, right? And I come from a family of, bitch, we don't play those games, all right? And if you want to play those games, we'll end the game, all right? How about no more game? And I wasn't trying to get there. I told y'all my mama locked up. My daddy did the realest shit that anybody can do, and that's take your own life. You know what I'm saying? And I have a family of proof. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep this Bean away from me, because if I keep her away from me, that's the best way that I am not going to get in that point, right? Boundaries that I talked about. Boundaries. So I put boundaries in place. They didn't like those boundaries. They didn't. And they don't. So that's a heads up, y'all. When y'all put them boundaries in place, it really pisses them off. And it did. So I put boundaries in place. And after I put those boundaries in place, time went on. We'll say about like January, December, more like December, not January yet. December, this Bean started texting me like, let up the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Drop the order. My mom's job. And I'm like, I don't care about your mom's job. I care about the safety of my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't drop it. Didn't care what he was talking about. And that's why you don't let up on the boundaries you put in place. All right? Don't let up. Because if you let up, you're pleasing, you're people pleasing. We're not trying to people please. We're trying to please ourselves. All right? Start with yourself. So I didn't let up. All right? And then time kept going on. I needed money. I still couldn't work. And that was messing with my mental. The fact that I couldn't work and I couldn't provide for my kids. So I started to just, do meditation, sit down myself, whatever I could do to like make me feel better and not beat myself up that I couldn't do something that I love to do, which was make money. So more time went on, and I did end up finding a job, and it was door-to-door sales for AT&T. I didn't give a fuck at this time. You know what I'm saying? I knew I couldn't go back to the medical field, because that's what I used to do, work in the medical field. But I knew I needed some money. So I was like, let me just try something different. And it was commission. I never worked off commission before. But I'm like, let me try, because I'm tired of not making money. And he wasn't helping me. And I still wasn't even putting that together. Like, how is this person trying to help me, even though he wasn't helping me? So while I was trying to work, I asked this Bean that I had kids with, can you watch the kids while I go do door-to-door sales, And he's like, yeah, I'll watch the kids for you. And I was, for me, like, it's just my responsibility. And I'm like, okay, great. So as we were doing it, it started off pretty smooth. He watched the kids while I did the little time that I did, and I'll pick the kids up, all right? So I'm like, all right, progress. We're getting somewhere. He not bringing them around people that's going to be waving guns around like it's shits and giggles, you know what I'm saying? And He actually doing his part, because that's what I wanted. I wanted him to be a father. I didn't know if he wanted to be a father, but me as a person, I was trying to control and force him to be a father, and we can't force people to be stuff that they don't want to be too. So also, like I said before, accept what people show you, right? Just accept it. Love people unconditionally for who they are, not what you want them to be. So now we're working pretty well together. I'm like, okay, well, how about we get them in daycare then? You know what I'm saying? Let's get them in daycare, and then I can work, you can work. That'll work well. All right. He was down for it. So in the midst of us signing up for daycare, we did daycare scouting together. We found the place that both of us was comfortable with and did all the paperwork, all that stuff. I bought a Apple tracking thing to put in their bag because, again, I'm living out of fear and anxiety because, you know, guns. What I was exposed to. So I'm like, man, I want to know. If something happened to my kids, I want to know. So I put a little tracking device, Apple tracking device in their backpack, because he was supposed to start, Lloyd was supposed to start first. They didn't have an opening for London. They were supposed to start that following Monday. It was a weekend. So I was like, all right, I'm going to be watching this bitch all day long, because I was watching it while I was moving in the car to make sure it was properly fucking moving. So I'm like, it's working pretty good. He came and picked them up that afternoon, and I checked it. It wasn't moving. My friend Alexis, and she a vouch, baby, okay? Because I ain't want to tell no fucking lies. She was over here, and I was like, it stopped moving. And it wasn't moving no more. And I didn't think much of it. You know, I'm like, damn, I just got to order another fucking tag. I got to order another tag, because there's no way he going to this school and it's not working. Then a few hours went by and it still didn't move. And I'm like, what? It was working so perfectly fine earlier. And I just kind of sat there. You know, we get these feelings inside our intuition. They're true. They're true. Trust it. When it comes and you feel it, it's true. I said, this being at his mother's house, I'm finna do a drive-by. I pull up. He was walking right on out with the kids. Walking right on out. And I was like, oh, hell no. Fuck no. Hell no. I was so mad. But he was in the car with the kids. I had followed him, and I saw that he was already kind of driving a little maniac-ish, and I was just like, I can't keep following him because my kid's in the car. I cannot keep following him because he's already driving stupid. He's acting wild because he just got caught, and now he's being extra, you know, like he was already like yelling out the window and stuff. I was like, I can't. So I just let it be. I let the kids stay with him. Like, literally, let go and let God. And I was like, he already got caught, so he ain't gonna go back over there. And I just prayed that he did not just go back over there, and he just went home. I left it at that. When I got the kids back, of course, I didn't hand them back off to him. But of course, what did I know he was gonna do? Run back to the courts, what he did beforehand. So, now, what was this? This was in March when this happened. And so in June, he went back to the courts, and the courts was like, okay, you got to get the kids to him these days, and these days. And I said, well, I'm not giving them to him unless he share his fucking location on his phone, and I could do random calls. And so that's why I told my lawyer, and my lawyer went back, and it was like, yeah. So I was thinking that it was like share physically your location. No, they said that he can text me and be like, oh, I'm leaving and I'm going here. I'm leaving and I'm going there. And I was like, hell the fuck no. That ain't enough for me, because I already know you're going to give our kids to that being of a person because you did it. The whole year that, you know, we was doing visitation, I personally hand my kids off to your mother, not you. And then after she was waving a gun around showing that she was insane in the membrane, you gave them to her. You know what I'm saying? So no, you know, I was like, fuck that. I'm not giving the kids to him. And my lawyer was like, that's the order. So, you know, in between March and June is when I really tapped deeply into my spiritual journey. So I was taking a shit ton of walks at the park non-stop. And so I was seeing shit ton of cardinals. Love me, some birds, animals, all that. That day, it didn't matter how many cardinals I saw. I was not handing my two precious, beautiful babies off to him. I'm like, I love you, Cardinals, but I don't give a fuck if y'all give me 155, 70,000. I'm not handing them off to them. I'm not doing it. And I walked for damn near 2 hours. I walked for hellas. And then what happened? I came across this big bridge and a huge bird flew down. It was an eagle, y'all. And I will show y'all the picture of the eagle. It was a fucking eagle. That eagle came down, and when it came down, I immediately felt in my soul, hand the kids off. You got to. And I was like, okay, all right. It was just that simple, right? Okay, and I did it. So I handed them off, and I trusted the process. I trusted the universe, God, and I'm like, all right, I hand them off. Did that. And so I was like, I'll take this time for myself. Since I'm a single mom, I don't get no breaks. I don't get no alone time. I'll take this time to walk in the park by myself. You know, normally I'm taking 2 kids with me. I don't have to do that now. So literally like the second time I handed the kids off to him, and I sat down at the park and meditated, quiet my mind, did a meditation, the word PI popped in my head. And this is why it's so important to quiet your mind and silence your mind. Because when you silence your mind, you don't have all that noise distracting you, and you can actually think. Your higher self is going to come down and be like, do that, do that, do that, and bring you peace. Because you have peace within, you're going to have peace without. I didn't have peace without, but I did have peace within. But I wanted peace without. That's what I was searching for. So PI popped up. I'm like, okay, I got to get a PI. That same day that I picked my kids up, he was late. And I was like, why are you late? He was like, you know, our football game ran late. He coached a football team or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And, you know, I've been taking the kids to the park. We've been going on walks, so I know how they are outside. And it was pretty toasted. So when I picked the kids up, they are just so cool and calm. And I'm just like, no fucking way they was with you at no football game. I'm like, I was heated. I was like, oh, this bitch, this bean done took him back over there, and I told him not to take him over there. So all I need to do was hire that PI. And that's what I did. And when I hired that PI, what did that PI do? That PI got the exact evidence that I needed to show the courts that this person, this being of a person that I had kids with, is bringing our kids around someone that we currently have a restraining order against because she was waving a gun around. And by me stepping back, letting go, quieting my mind, I was able to find a resolution in a situation that was so intense in my life. If you're from St. Louis, you may not think it's intense. You may not think it's that serious, but it is. It is. Guns are serious. It's not nothing to play with. It can take anybody alive. Bullets don't have a name on it. They don't have a name on it. So even if you do have accurate decisions or, you know, precision, what the fuck you want to call it, you're taking a life, all right? It's not something to take lightly, all right? And when you're doing it and you're taking that life, it is out of emotions, intense emotions in that moment. And it's like, is it that serious? That story is none for me to tell, but it's not that fucking serious, all right? It's called heal yourself. Heal yourself from that pain. So if someone says something to you, they're not triggering you to act out of emotions. So by me taking that time and getting that PI and that PI giving that evidence, we had to do a trial, baby. And when we did that trial, of course, everything wasn't picture perfect, but the message got shown that if he loved his kids, he may love them, he may not. But one thing was clear was he did not like taking care of his kids. And he wasn't taking care of his kids because soon his time started, he immediately dropped them off to her. When his time was over, he was picking them up late, bringing them back to me late. You know what I'm saying? None of this adds up. None of this makes sense. But all I'm trying to do is provide safety and security for my kids. That's what I'm in alignment with, right? He wasn't in alignment with that. So if you're not in alignment with something, that person either has to get in alignment with you or you get in alignment with them. I'm staying true to myself, and I'm staying true to what I feel and what I believe. And by me doing that, what happened? The judge, all that, you handing them off, you doing that, you doing this, all that went out the fucking window. Now he has to do supervised visits. And that's that. You get what I'm saying? That is just an example from my personal life showing that meditation is important. Quieting your mind is important. Knowing what's true to you is important. And staying true to you is important. All right? each and every time we have a situation in our lives, it is to grow, it is to improve, and it is to better ourselves. And I'm willing to share my personal life and my stories to show that pressure does create diamonds. And we don't have to settle for this reality that people want to sell us, all right? Because if I didn't feel this strong need to protect my kids and create a new reality for them, create a different world for them, I would have accepted that shit that was being sold to me. Like, this is what happens to us. You know, we do wave guns around and we forgive each other and we let it go until the next time that it happens. And that's not, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's how we need to move. I don't believe that's how we need to treat each other, or that's a form of love. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we love one another. And if we truly love each other and we make mistakes, we make them, we apologize for them, and then we stop doing them. Stop doing them. You don't apologize to keep hurting. Hurt people, and I don't want that for me nor my loved ones. So thank you all for listening. That was just a brief preview of these tools that I'm saying ain't bullshit, and how you can use them and really create some real positive, beautiful shit in your life. And a mockingbird just pulled up to my window. Love you dearly. So you guys let me know what you would like me to talk about on the next episode, because I love that you're tapping in. And leave comments, share that shit, like that shit, subscribe that shit, and yeah, tell me what you want me to tap into, because in our reality, I'm here for all of us, the better of all of us, and whatever floats your boat, floats my boat. But by all means, I'm always stay true to me. So love you guys. Thanks for tapping in, and I hope you have a beautiful night.